In this video, we explore John Wick 4 vs. Dungeons & Dragons. John Wick 4, the legendary assassin must fight to keep Dungeons & Dragons' honor among thieves at the top of the box office. Read on to discover John Wick 4 vs. Dungeons & Dragons' honor among thieves. Introduction. John Wick 4 is set to face its biggest fight yet as it competes against the highly anticipated movie, Dungeons & Dragons' honor among thieves, for the top spot at the box office. With both movies being action-packed thrillers, it will be interesting to see which movie will emerge victorious. John Wick 4, the stories so far. The John Wick franchise has been a massive success since its debut in 2014, and fans have been eagerly awaiting the release of the fourth installment. The last we saw of John Wick, he had been excommunicated from the Continental and was on the run from assassins all over the world. The fourth movie is expected to pick up right where the third left off, with John Wick continuing his fight for survival and seeking revenge against those who have wronged him. One of the biggest draws of the John Wick movies is the intense, well-choreographed action sequences. Director Chad Stahelski has promised that John Wick 4 will feature even more high-octane fight scenes, and fans are excited to see what he has in store. With Keanu Reeves returning to the role that has made him an action movie icon, it's safe to say that John Wick 4 will be a must-see for fans of the franchise. Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, a new adventure begins. Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves marks the first movie adaptation of the popular tabletop role-playing game. The movie is set to follow a group of adventurers who band together to pull off a heist in a dangerous fantasy world. With an impressive cast that includes Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, and Justice Smith, the movie has already generated a lot of buzz. Fans of the Dungeons & Dragons game will be excited to see their favorite characters come to life on the big screen, and the movie promises to deliver plenty of action, adventure, and humor. With a talented cast and a beloved source material, Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves has the potential to be a box office hit. The box office battle, who will come out on top? So, with two highly anticipated movies on the horizon, who will win the box office battle? It's tough to say for sure, but there are a few factors to consider. Firstly, the John Wick franchise has a proven track record of success. The first three movies have grossed over $584 million worldwide, and with the addition of new characters and even more intense action, John Wick 4 is sure to be a hit with fans. Keanu Reeves' popularity also cannot be underestimated, as the actor has a massive following that will no doubt turn out to see him in action once again. On the other hand, Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves has the advantage of being the first movie adaptation of the beloved tabletop game. Fans have been clamoring for a Dungeons & Dragons movie for years, and the movie's cast and story have generated a lot of excitement. If the movie is well received by both fans of the game and general audiences, it could easily become a surprise hit at the box office. Ultimately, it's difficult to predict which movie will come out on top. Both John Wick 4 and Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves have the potential to be box office hits, and it will likely come down to audience reception and critical reviews. The battle begins, John Wick 4 vs. Dungeons & Dragons. The release of both John Wick 4 and Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves has created a buzz in the movie industry, with movie fans eagerly anticipating the release of both movies. However, as the release dates draw closer, the competition between the two movies is heating up. The plot of John Wick 4. John Wick 4, starring Keanu Reeves, continues the story of the legendary assassin as he faces off against new enemies. The movie promises to be an action-packed thriller, with breathtaking fight scenes and intense stunts. The plot of Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves is a fantasy adventure movie that is based on the popular tabletop role-playing game, Dungeons & Dragons. The movie follows a group of adventurers who must retrieve a powerful artifact while dealing with dangerous obstacles and enemies along the way. Box office predictions. John Wick 4's box office performance. With the success of the previous John Wick movies, it is expected that John Wick 4 will perform well at the box office. The movie's loyal fanbase and Keanu Reeves' star power will undoubtedly contribute to its success. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves box office performance. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is also expected to perform well at the box office, given the popularity of the tabletop game it is based on. The movie's unique storyline and fantasy elements may also attract a wider audience. Box office predictions and marketing strategies. It's difficult to predict which movie will come out on top at the box office, as both have their own unique appeal to audiences. However, there are some factors that could influence the outcome. First, John Wick 4 has a built-in fanbase from the previous movies, and Keanu Reeves is a popular actor who is known for his action roles. The marketing for the movie has been ramping up, with teasers and trailers showcasing the intense action and fight scenes. On the other hand, Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves has the advantage of being based on a popular tabletop game with a dedicated fanbase. The marketing for the movie is focused on the fantasy elements and the heist storyline, which could appeal to a wider audience beyond just fans of the game. It is difficult to predict which movie will perform better at the box office, as both movies have their unique strengths and appeal to different audiences. However, both movies are expected to do well. Conclusion. The competition between John Wick 4 and Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is expected to be intense, with both movies offering thrilling and action-packed storylines. Regardless of which movie emerges victorious at the box office, movie fans are in for a treat with these two highly anticipated movies.